As promised, this is day 2 of VLOGMAS NYE 2021. And this is Jamie, and I'm still wearing what I was wearing yesterday. But I'm actually getting ready to get in the shower, so I figured this would be a great time to start filming. Because you can see my transformation. Now I have some ideas of I need to wash my hair. I have a couple ideas that I need to work through. That's what I like to do when I'm in the shower. How many of you guys work out your ideas when you're in the shower? I want to hear it in the chat. Tell me. I am also, since it is the end of the year, and 2020 was one of those years where we had a lot of losses, of all kinds, including the ones that are more hard than others, right? So, before I get all teary-eyed, I decided it was probably best to, not best, but I felt it in my gut that I wanted to light a white candle in honor of everyone who we've lost this year. Specifically, you know, some people, you know, of course I named some of the people I know specifically, and honored some of the people that not only passed this year, but also have passed in past years, but recently, like in the last year, 2, 3, that is still pretty fresh. 3 years isn't very long. 20 years isn't very long. So I have my, I've got my white candle lit. It's actually been lit since last night. So the way these candles work in the Jewish faith is when someone passes away, you light it and then you leave it lit and you let it burn till it goes out. And it's supposed to honor that person. So I have switched up the protocol a bit. I mean, I haven't studied much about Judaism, so I don't know if my protocol is right or wrong or anything, but I think I got the right idea. So while I go take a shower, I will see ya when I see ya. Somehow different. Alright, so pretty much while I wait for the water to get hot, because I got one of those water heaters that's like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, it's just, it takes forever, let's just put it that way. I'm pretty sure you could hear it running. It's running really, really low, because if I don't run it really, really low first to go, it won't like get hot at all to start. So I'm going to grab something. This is rose ointment, and I have, as you can see, used it to its max. Now that I think about it, it should probably go on my order. My order goes through today, so what do you think? Should I put on my order? There was something on there that, I mean, everything on there I kind of need, but I don't know. With the winter, the rose ointment's great because if you don't already know, I will be going live on Twitch later and doing a lip scrub, but the rose ointment's good for like your knuckles, especially now during the winter months, depending on where you live, especially if you're up north. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to rub this into my cuticles. You don't really need a lot, so I'm just like going to take one little blob of it and just like put it onto my cuticles, and then I'm just going to like rub it in, because my cuticles are atrocious and they get like really, really... And rose is a really good essential oil to put into just about anything because of its frequency. Rose has the highest frequency out of all of the essential oils. So like, there's like kind of like this running joke, like, you know, some people are like got that like super high frequency where like everything is like super elevated and like their energy is just so out of like bounds and like so much more than like most people can even fathom. Like you know. And when I say energy, I don't really mean like physical, like bouncing up and down energy. I just mean like their spiritual energy, their life force, their love, whatever, in their heart or whatever. So basically I put that on because after the shower, I'm going to push my cuticles back, cut them, and paint my nails. So I do that. Now I used to use, now this is my simple swap type thing. Now I used to use this, and I'm not like it's like almost like it's so ingrained in me, and it's such a natural thing for me. Like I've kept this all these years. I don't even know how, it's so old, which is probably not even a good thing too. But it doesn't have the ingredients, believe it or not. But it's called VitaSurge Strength Gel Strengthener, and it's by Sally Hansen. I'm sure I can get the ingredients online, but this is my idea of a simple, or not my idea, it's not my idea. This is my definition in layman's terms, in a visual way, as far as a simple swap. So you can buy this Sally Hansen, don't know what's in it, nail strengthener, or with chemicals, loaded with chemicals, because why wouldn't they tell you what's in it if it was nothing bad, right? Or you can order the rose ointment from Young Living, get all of the things that you need for your home and beauty and emotional well-being and health with supplements and the likes. A restorative and protective skin ointment that moisturizes and locks in the benefits of essential oils. Another great thing is if you are a massage therapist and you're doing VitaFlex, after you apply the oil, you can then apply the ointment on top of the oil, and it basically locks in the effects of the oil, so it makes the oil last longer. And as we can see in the ingredients, there is no fragrance, nothing that we can't really pronounce, nothing that stands out. We've got all the essential oils there, and then at the bottom you see rose oil. So, and then also, of course, you see 100% pure, authentic, 100% pure therapeutic grade essential oil. So the difference between therapeutic and fragrance is that it's actually doing something for you. So if you were to look up the benefits of rose, so here, this is what it looks like. Rose being obviously a, I'm going to rub it into my hands, why not? Just have to get some more, you know. I guess my boyfriend's been using it. But, yeah. So this is my simple swap idea. So, or you could go and then that way when your babies get boo-boos and things like that and stuff like that. Now this is kind of like one of those like BS products. Like you have this for years and years, but it kind of probably goes bad after a while, but you feel bad throwing it away, so all it does is sit under your countertops, right? Am I right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to throw it away today. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw it away. That's it. So I don't know why I've kept it all this time. It's just, you know, sometimes it's hard to let things go. But, yeah, let me get in the shower now. Catch you in a little bit. I literally forever forget to do, like, or, let's restart. I forever forget to drink my coffee. I'll pour a cup, and then I'll get distracted doing something or getting deep into some sort of research, which I attribute to my Sagittarius moon. I am like a collector of knowledge. I like to know everything. If I don't know something, I want to figure it out. I hope I'm not making like a slurping sound. That's my worst fear. I'm standing far away from the phone so you don't hear it. But give me a second. I wanted to take a couple sips while it's still actually kind of hot. Yeah, so I literally just realized that I came into the bathroom here and that I set my coffee down. So I wanted to show you guys, like, this is me. Like, this is the third time today. So I literally just got to get used to, I mean, I already am used to lukewarm, what do you call it? Food and drinks. maybe it's getting you ready for childhood. Not saying that I am or I'm not having a child, because I really don't know. You know, you never know what life has in store for you, but if only I could be so blessed. But, yeah. But yeah, so, which is a segue into why I like to use the products that I use. I'm actually cleaning my ears out right now, because they're all so safe. Like, you don't ever have to worry about what you're putting on your skin or whatnot, or in your body, in the case of the supplements, and the most delicious juice that they have called Ningxia, that I definitely need to get it. Like, this time of the year, it's always really important to stock Ningxia in the house because of the immune system, because of the flu going around and all that stuff, and now with COVID or whatever. But, you know, keeping your immune system high helps you to fight against disease. It's a scientific fact. It's not, you know, it is what it is. If you, I've said this a million times, if you get your rest, if you get good foods in your belly, like clean foods, which, make sure you're following me on Twitch, because we're going to start a cleanse. It's going to be a 5-day cleanse. It's really simple. It's really easy. It's really yummy food. It's not like your typical, oh, I'm not going to eat cleanse, I'm going to poop my brains out cleanse. That's not what this kind of cleanse, I don't do those cleanses. This is about mindset training, resetting, you know, getting to a point where you're doing things, because here's the thing, let's backtrack. I'm 36 years old. Imagine I'm 3 years old, which I don't even remember. But I'm 3 years old and I have some sort of experience with, you know, my, while I'm talking to you, I'm going to put some on my arms and my skin, since I just got out of the shower. I got to grab a robe. I'll be right on with you. But yeah, so what was I saying? Oh, what was it? I don't know. I didn't want to edit this either. Was it important? I don't know. Was it important? I really have no clue. So yeah, oh, mindset training. That's what it was. Subconsciously, okay? And this is kind of like what I'm talking about here. All right. Hold on one second. And don't forget, I put that rose ointment on my cuticles with the intention of sliding them back, and I'm just washing my hands with the thieves soap because it gets oily from the coconut oil when I put the coconut oil on my skin. And I also put a little tiny bit on my face because my lips are very, very dry, and like certain areas of my face are really dry, and I attribute that just to the weather. So if you guys are feeling dry and stuff like that, don't think anything crazy, because that's exactly what it is. It's just the weather. We're used to so much like higher levels of humidity and stuff. So, all right, so I'm going to get set up because I need to start doing my hair and get my robe on, and I'll catch you guys in a moment. So first off, I couldn't decide, well, I couldn't find a robe. I have like a million robes, but I couldn't find them. So I decided on wearing some comfy clothes. And it's Christmas, right? But it's technically still Christmas-y time, right? So we're good with that, right? And since we're doing a bit of a vlog, I figured I would show you guys, you know, oopsie, look at me. I actually was drawing a spread because I was pulling for the collective tonight for, bottom of the deck is the Empress. I feel like it should be like this. I think I just put it down wrong. So I pulled the spread for the collective. These cards, I wanted to do one card, but like they popped out. This one popped out, this one popped out, and then so then I asked for an advice, a clarifier card, and then that's what I got. So basically I just wanted to show you, I'm burning my white candle. I don't know if I showed you that yet, and I'll be right back with you. I'm going to get my PJs on, and I'm going to read this reading, and I'll move on to the next thing. Okay. So I literally have wild hair right now, but I don't care. I want you guys to see like me as I get ready and all that stuff. And like my schedule isn't typical, you know, as I do. I don't think anybody's schedule right now is typical because you got to see me boobies a little closer. Sorry about that. My man is constantly yelling at me. Be careful with your chair. You're gonna run over everything. All your cords. Well, he doesn't talk like that. Not at all. But he's sweet. Very, very sweet. But he's right. So I was starting to tell you guys something earlier, and before I forget, I want to finish up. So I was talking a little bit about mindset training. And mindset training basically is when you're retraining your brain to think differently. So here's the thing. Like I was saying, and I'm going to try to stop saying that because I don't really like the way that sounds. But imagine you're 3 years old, or 4 or 5, whenever you can remember, because I have a hard time remembering. I'm trying to do this like in the mirror behind the phone, but it's kind of difficult, so I'm sorry that I'm doing this with you guys like this. But again, this is Vlogmas, right? Getting ready for the new year. Tonight's a full moon at 10, I believe it's 10:48 Eastern Standard Time. We are at 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we have enough time for dinner and for Vlogmas and for all of the things that I want to get done. You know? Well, did you hear how I say want? I'm like so excited to like do these things that I want to do. Like I've never been as excited about like just like life. Well, I don't mean it like that. I remember when I was a real little girl, I was such an excitable person. Like it didn't take me much. And I was also very patient. Like I remember like I could sit like I remember my mom would take me with like her friends and stuff, and all her friends would like love me because they would just like, you know, I just love to listen to the older women talk. I do definitely feel like I have an old soul. So anyway, so back to mindset training. So you're sitting in this group environment like I was with all these women, and women that are in a completely different generation than we are now. Like maybe some of these women are even not even with us. I mean, they may have passed. My mom is 62 years old. She's in perfect health, but you know what I'm talking about. Anything can happen. So you're sitting in this group, me or you as a child, sitting in this group with these women, and they're talking about sex. And this woman's talking about how her and her husband they're each other's firsts, and there's never anyone in between or before or whatever, like that's it, and how that's in the Bible and all this stuff, and not the point. And then you've got like another woman, and she's like the Brooklyn whore, and she's, you know, telling jokes about, you know, how many rods she's had to tame, or that's probably a terrible analogy, I'm not a dude. Or I really need to like read up on some of these things. Like I feel like I have terrible gaydar. I feel like I don't really know any of the terms or like terminologies. I need some friends who can like help me out. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm probably not the most politically correct, but I don't mean anything by it. That's the thing, you know what I mean? All right, so mindset training. So you're sitting in these groups, and then you got another woman who's talking about, you know, she's looking at both of them, and you could see she's ashamed, and she maybe wants to say something, but she's afraid to be vulnerable. She's fearful of something. Something's holding her back, you know? So you've got these 3 different women, and then you got me and my mother, you know, or whatever, sitting there in the group. So you have all these different women with all these different emotions and all these different ideas of what sex is and what it means to them and what it means to their family and what it means to their husband or their partner or whatnot. And, you know, maybe something said like, whenever your husband asks you for sex, you give it to him. Okay? Somebody says that. You're 3 to 5 years old and you hear that. Okay? Now, because that's not something a 3 or 5-year-old probably understands. I know definitely doesn't understand unless they're like a genius or something and have these like extremely ascended parents that teach their children like that. But many children are not aware of these type of situations. So say, for instance, I'm in that situation, you're in that situation. Now we're 12 years old and we are in a group and there's men and there's men and women. There's boys and there's girls and we are in that age where we are attracted to boys or girls, depending on, you know, your orientation. You feel those feelings, you get those butterflies, you're starting to feel those things that you've never felt before. And so you're excited again, finally, like you remember that conversation. Maybe you don't remember the conversation, right? Maybe you don't remember it, but maybe subconsciously, right? Subconsciously, you have, it's implanted in your brain, right? So now you're 12, 13 years old and you're in a group and there's a really punky type of dude who thinks he's just God's gift and he's just so cute. And maybe he is cute. Maybe he's cute, you know? Maybe he is. Maybe he's popular. Maybe he's a smooth talker. I gotta get in there and do my hair. I'm gonna finish this up and then I'll catch you later. And he gets you alone. And he tells you that you need to give him a, you know, in the closet or something like that. Maybe it's at church, because shit like that happens all the time, from what I understand. Church camp and band camp. Just kidding. But anyway, point of the story is that us women and us ladies and us female and us males too, because it happens in both genders. That's the thing, and that's the hardest part for many people to understand, that it's not a gender thing. It's a human thing. Humans will inflict pain on other humans for many reasons. For kicks, because they're hurting, because they're bored. So, and also they want to see how far they can push it, right? So that's why boundaries are so important. And that's why as a parent, it's very important. And I'm not a parent, so I scratch that whole part of it. But as a person, a young person, because I was a young person, and I feel like my biggest problem was that I was not taught boundaries. I was not taught how to develop my own boundaries. I was not taught what was my morals, what I cared about most, what mattered to me, and so on. I got really, really lucky because I have a strong willpower and a strong opinion of myself and high self-worth, and I'm positive. So when people shit on my parade, I'm like, you know, go fly a kite, no problem. I've got no problem. Just, you know, that's what's funny. People laugh because when it comes to like Pisces suns, they're like the sweetest, nicest people in the whole wide world until you F them over. Because then it's like you're a shit stain. That you flushed down the toilet. You're no longer even a thought, a register on their radar. So keep that in mind. So mindset training is basically that. So now here we are at 36 years old and you're married, and now anytime your husband asks you for sex, whether you want to or not, you give it to him. And maybe that's working in your relationship, but maybe it's not. Maybe maybe the way he wants you to have sex with him isn't the way you want him to have sex with you, right? Maybe that conversation that you had when, well, not your conversation, but the conversation you overheard at that young age, the part that maybe should have came up after that was, you know, about pleasing a woman and about talking to a man and communicating with a man and figuring out what it is exactly that would please the woman so that the man is pleased as well, because a man is only pleased when the woman is pleased. Well, that's not necessarily true, but from what I understand in psychology and stuff like that, a man wants to please a woman. You want to get a boyfriend? I'll tell you a trick. Ask him for something. Ask him for a favor. Say you see someone that's cute in like the store or wherever, and you're like single. I'm not all about those like extramarital or out of relationship affairs, but you're single and whatever, and you see someone that interests you or strikes your fancy or whatnot, and you're like, I'm gonna get him. He's gonna take me out on a date tonight. He's gonna take me out on a date this weekend. This is an affirmation, okay? So this is basically where I was leading up to. The point that I'm trying to make to you right now is not that our parents screwed us up and we have all these crazy thoughts that are running around in our head and they're affecting our lives and really screwing them up. That's not it at all. It's that all of these things were lessons and they taught us how to navigate our life the most effective for us as individuals, because we're unique. We are one of a kind. So until you develop a self-worth for yourself, and that's another thing, is when it comes to relationships, many relationships are built on not a solid foundation. They're built on what I call, you know, like a very it's like without one, there wouldn't be the other. Like they need each other in order to do anything. And that's not good for anyone, because you need to be able to stand on your own foundation like they do in church. Do you remember that? There's the church, there's the steeple, look inside, see all the people or something like that. I used to love that one. But yeah. So basically, as far as mindset goes, you want to put positive things only in your brain. Okay, the boys are back. Talk to you in a little bit. No matter who calls, I gotta screen my phone calls. I'm into no doubt today. I had to show you what we made. I know I normally tell you I eat clean, and I do. I absolutely do. I don't eat dairy, and I rarely, if ever, do sugar, but I did, if you've been following me, I was recently tested A1C, and I tested negative, so my glucose is good, and I was busy and not paying attention to my text messages. Well, that's not, excuse me, I'll explain. I couldn't, like, check my text messages. My boyfriend brought home, like, wings, which I get plain, and then I dip with the hot sauce, so it's not like I'm putting butter in it or anything like that, but you have to see what we're having for dessert. They come from Whole Foods, and I want to say there's no dairy in them. Pretty sure there's no dairy in them. They're delicious, though. Look, just made them. They just took them out of the oven. Oh, have you ever seen something so fluffy and delicious in your life? I just washed my hands, if you guys are worried. But, oh my God, I'm so excited. And I've got hot coffee and oat milk. So excited. All right, I'm gonna get set up and I will be right back.
Your child being like, please find a hobby. COVID has been horrible. Oh my God.
Hey guys, so I just had, it's gonna be backwards. Oh no, is it? Is it backwards? Yeah, it's backwards. But since this is now public and out for everyone to see, I can show you guys. But if you don't already follow the American Witch in Brazil, make sure you do on Instagram or on Twitch. But basically what this is a 3-card tarot spread. So this is card position number 1, card position number 2, and card position number 3. So all you would have to do, my throat has really been bothering me, and I've been hearing it from like so many different people that it's like it's like a thing. I feel like with COVID, because okay, and I don't mean to like get into this whole COVID thing, but like I've had quite a few friends over the last couple weeks that have tested positive for COVID and then were retested and then tested again and were positive for COVID. I had a doctor's appointment this past week, and I asked my doctor, should I be tested? Because although I didn't come in like direct contact, like we didn't exchange, like we didn't hug or anything like that, like she was, you know, on one side of the room and I was on the other, and at that point she didn't know she had COVID, and she hadn't been tested yet. So when I asked my doctor, like, should I be tested because she was positive, he said no. He also said, and he's actually a nurse practitioner, not a doctor, so I don't want to misspeak, but it's relatively the same in the medical community. So this nurse practitioner told me that he has already received the vaccine for COVID, that I guess being a medical professional, he was offered it like right away, I guess when it became available, and he went right over and he got it. He said there was a few people who delayed and they were like, you know, wishy-washy and they weren't sure, so they actually missed out because there was only like so many and whatever. So I feel like this is something like a decision that you kind of have to like come to decide early, because what's going to happen is it's going to become available, and then boom, if you don't go and get it, you might miss out, right? You know? So this is in no way me saying one way or another. It's just what I've heard, and I like to report back based from sources, you know, like sources that actually have legitimate knowledge that I can then feel comfortable sharing that with you. So that is what he told me. And so what he told me was not to be tested, but if it does become available, to go and get the vaccine. That is what he said. So that was that. So this is back to the spread. So the purpose of this. Good evening, everyone. It is quite late. I have food in my mouth. I was having a late night snack, which is completely unlike me. I actually even have oh, by the way, I showered, did my hair. I did something a little different because I'm hoping that, hoping in the morning that it might like kind of curl or whatever. If I pull it down and then I can restyle it. It looks like I almost have like a little bit of a reaction to something. I don't know what it is. I told you guys I was feeling dry and stuff, but I feel great. I hope you all had a great full moon. I kind of dipped out for a little while, and that's why this Vlogmas number 2 is going to probably be released a little late. If I don't have to edit it too much, I'll try to get it out within the hour. If not, then first thing in the morning. But I am a little late night snack. Basically, it's a vegan waffle with bananas and some maple syrup, and it's this. And I have my big jug of water. I got this cup at the swap shop. It's funny because you stick it in the freezer and it gets really, really cold. And I love the color orange. For some reason, I'm like into it right now. And so what did I want to tell you? So I hope you guys had a really super fun full moon. I participated in a full moon ritual here at the house, here all by my lonesome. I did it with a community online. So you could pretty much, I mean, a lot of people are like floundering during this time, not really knowing which way's up, which way's down. You know the definition of floundering, I'm sure. Excuse me. There is so many different ways and so many communities out there for all kinds of things. Like if you're into crafting, if you're into like crocheting, if you're into arts and crafts, like in like a more modern way, you know, like art and stuff like that. Or if you're into music and play guitar, violin, If you are into ecology or biology or astronomy, it doesn't matter what you're into. I actually was just suggested something and I'm going to look into it. And it's not only the information that you gather and grab from the group and the community, it's the relationships within those groups that are very valuable, because we're here on this planet to have relationships. That is why we're here. I mean, what other reason would there be for us to be here? Why would they put hundreds and thousands and millions of human beings on an earth if not for us to relate and have relationships with one another? So, you know, philosophy, I mean, that's another, you know, I'm sure there's philosophy groups that you can find. So my point is that you can find just about anything online, and learning isn't what it used to be. Learning can be anything you want it to be. Learning can be an app. Learning can be a YouTube video. Learning can be a really respected magazine. I love Natural Awakenings. How many of you guys love that magazine? Like, I would love to work for them. If anyone is out there that like knows who they are or knows like how I can get in touch with them, I would totally edit for them. I am like such a great like I'm like one of those people that like I'll read something, I'll be like, oop, error, and it's like instant too. It's not like I read the whole thing and missed it and then I was like, oh wait, there's an error. It's like my eyes immediately go to the error. Websites, print media, it doesn't matter. I always laugh about it because it's like, it's usually pretty funny, like whatever they do end up putting in. Sometimes it's vague and abstract or whatever, but sometimes it's funny, you know? It actually happened this week, and I showed my boyfriend, and he was laughing. Natural Awakenings magazine, which they used to have in Whole Foods, and they don't carry it there anymore. I don't know what happened with that. Maybe it had something to do with, I don't know. I would be speculating. So, if anyone knows who is the publisher of Natural Awakenings or how they're doing after this pandemic and what the future of Natural Awakenings would look like, I feel that it's actually a really great magazine for the holistic community. It's a great way to support local coaches, local vendors, local teachers, and community members, you know, within the collective and stuff like that, in the spiritual collective and things like that. So I just want to make sure that I popped back in and showed you guys that I did do my self-care. I took a lovely shower. I washed my hair. I blow dried it. I curled it. I even used the curling iron. I separated it into a few different sections so that, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to try to take it out and see if it curls or whatever. If not, no big deal. I might play around. I got some fake tattoos. I want to do that. I'm like tempted to do it on stream, but I feel like if I screw it up, I'll get so frustrated. So I kind of want to just like do it and then be like ready. But I also want to like paint my nails, like all these things I want to do. And that's like how life should be. Like, you should want to wake up in the morning and be like, oh my God, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do this. Like, you should be excited about life. Excited. And I'm telling you, I was not excited about life. And I live with some people, and I know some people. This makes me upset because I'm very empathetic for other people. People don't understand, you know, because I have a very hard exterior that, you know, shit really does bother me. It's just, it's easier for me to basically not, look at me getting all teary. It's easier for me to like basically put up a wall and pretend that I'm good than to actually be vulnerable and attempt to heal, because in my stubborn brain and in the trauma throughout my life and different things that I've experienced in the past, but also very recently, and I'm still going through it, and definitely will be coming out on the other side successful and abundant and full of great lessons so that I can help heal others. But it was a struggle, and so I feel really bad for people who just can't see the light, and for people who are in that mentality where they're, you know, it's like a victim mentality or even a scarcity mentality, which has come about like even more so now in 2020 because people lost their jobs. I mean, I haven't been working like a job since early 2019, which most of you know. However, that's because I've been trying to kickstart my own brand and my own business and my own streams of helping people, and also providing a product or some sort of value to people, so that I can create a business for myself, as well as in conjunction with using the oils, because there are a lot of healers who are not aware that their job could be a lot easier if they were to use the oils. It's a small investment in their future, because like, just say, and this is just something that came to my mind, but like, you're a yoga instructor and you want to glow up your studio, right? The best way to glow up your studio is to get luxury products, or products that look luxury, which in this case with Young Living, they're both. They are luxurious products, top of the line products. They're beautifully packaged, and they work, and they have a long history, and their reviews are great. So basically what you do as a yoga instructor is you create a signature, I believe it's called like a Savasana spray. You spray it on your yoga mat, but of course you let that dry, because have you ever like sprayed a yoga mat and then try to use it? It's so gross. But like, spray the yoga mat and then like let it dry out in the sun if possible, because you know that kills a lot of bacteria. But if you can't, then, you know, just let it dry out. But like, so say for instance you were a yoga instructor, and you owned a yoga studio, you could create your own custom blend using the Young Living oils, or you could use something that's in the starter kit, which would make more sense, because, or you would want to use a combination of oils that are in the starter kit, because as a yoga studio owner, your ultimate goal would be for your clients who are already paying you to be there, right, to ask you, wow, that smell, I just love coming in here because that smell just is amazing. And you say, oh, well, really? You love it? Well, you love it this much. I have it available for you. You can make it yourself by purchasing the starter kit. And not only can you make this, but you can also make this. And it could be something else that you use in the yoga studio. So it might be like, every single time a student comes into the yoga studio, as soon as they enter the studio and they grab their mats, they're greeted by, you know, the instructor or greeter or whatnot, and they're given a choice of, you know, three, you know, you could keep it simple, like 3 different essential oils from Young Living. They get to choose one of the 3, and you can drop 1 drop, because that's all that's required, in their hand, and then they could take it. And this is a ritual too, by the way. So these are great ways that you could create rituals for other people. And so now you're healing other people via, you know, doing something kind, right? And also, you know, amplifying the level of your business. So just imagine this, visualize this. A yoga studio where you walk in, it smells delicious, like aromatherapy. You have the capability of actually purchasing that item so that you can create your own spray. when you go to the restrooms, you're using the thieves' hand soap or Christmas spirit hand soap, so that the customers know that you are a young living yoga studio. Then they start asking you, well, what is this young living? Because some people don't get it right away. They might be like, oh yeah, all yoga studios smell like this or whatever. They don't, not everyone's going to ask. So if you were to say casually add like a jug of soap in the bathroom, or back to my second idea, that as they walk through the door and they grab their yoga mats or however you want to set it up, you offer them one of 3 essential oils for them to then take in their hand. And as a ritual, take 3 deep breaths with the oil. Now, we could choose lavender because that's a good relaxation oil. Valor if it's their first time and they need courage. And then maybe something like a eucalyptus if they're experiencing some sort of sinus issues and that's where they're there. So, so there's so many endless options as a business owner to utilize these products in your stores. And what's great is that so now you're collecting a salary from your clients because they're paying you to be there. And then now on top of that, now you're creating an additional income because you're selling them a product. And what's great is it's a product that you're using for your business. So it's like a win-win. It's like a write-off for your business. You get to benefit from it. You actually have a side hustle within your own business because it's not really even a side hustle. It's a straight-up business if you want it to be. Especially if you are a business owner, there would be no reason why you wouldn't want to make it an income stream because it's very, very easy to do so. I kind of just want to leave it like that. I don't know if you guys are following me over on Twitch, but you really should. My goal is, and I need to get to 50 followers. I have 19 followers and I need to get to 50. So I'm almost halfway there. And so what I want to do is I want to come up with a goal. So when the new year hits, I'm going to try to set a goal. And I want to think about it first, like, I actually just added, I don't know if you guys know much about Twitch or how it works, but it's owned by Amazon, and they also have an app called Discord, Discord. And what's nice about Twitch is that it comes with a server called Discord for your community. So it gives you a place where you can put only your things or things that your community member wants to put. But you could also impose restrictions. So like if there's certain things in channels that you only want to post in and they can't, you could do it that way. But not to get technical or anything, but Discord is a way for us to share throughout the day. Like when I'm not streaming, when I'm not live, when I'm not here talking to you, it's a way for us to check in with each other. It's a way for us to share information and resources. Our new tarot decks that tomorrow I'm receiving. Maybe I'll do an unboxing depending on what time they arrive because, you never know. It says before like 10 p.m. So, but I'm actually getting 2 things. So the second thing will be a surprise, but I am getting an oracle deck. So, and then I'm getting one other thing. But, back to Discord. So in Discord, there's places and specific channels for different things. So I've made a channel for mindset training, I think is what it's called. And in there because that's how I'm starting off this series for the new year, all about cleansing, purifying, and mindset. So what does that mean? That means cleansing your body of negativity, toxins, negative relationships and self-harming behaviors, self-worth issues, things like that. Like getting rid of all of that, releasing all of that. Purifying your soul, releasing, maybe making amends, getting out anything in the open that needs to be out in the open, just, because everything always comes to light. So, don't let yourself feel icky any longer. Just own it and be you. And if the person or situation that you're afraid is going to judge you for it, then it's not meant to be, and this was your path, and this was your lesson, and this was what was supposed to happen. So just trust that the universe has your back. And the whole point of Discord is that we have your back. The community has your back. And I like that the community's small right now, and you'll notice that over on Twitch, the streamers are all so great, and the community is so sweet, and it's really a wonderful experience, and all of us support each other. And I would love to see your name face over on Twitch, so come on over and follow me. I'm gonna be live tomorrow. I promised that I would make the lip scrub, and it is ready to go. I have all the ingredients here. I just need to whip it up and show you guys how to use it. So simple. I'm going to have it ready to go, ready made, so that I don't have to do that part. And I'm just going to go through the ingredients and all the, how to do it, with it already made, because I don't want to waste time you guys watching me do all that. That's not really necessary. But that'll be exciting. And then I have a lot of other DIYs that I want to maybe add. I don't know if I'm going to do one DIY a week, because that's kind of hard, but maybe 2 DIYs a month I could do, or something like that. And then coming in the month of February, make sure that you're subscribed to Twitch in February, because we're going to do the Lucy Libido class, and that is going to be for probably subscribers only, because the book has to be purchased, and the program that they require you to put out, you need to pay for, and you need to tell them what you're doing. So that may be for subscribers only, but you don't want to miss that class, because that's all about sex oils, libido oils, things like that. So we'll plan that for probably sometime, we'll start talking about it in January, and then do it early in February, so that we're ready to go for Valentine's Day. Plus, you're gonna need to order your oils ahead of time. So this month, you don't need to worry about. It's December, obviously. I ordered some stuff. I ordered my abundance, because January is the abundance challenge. So I'm going to be doing that. You guys can watch me do that. And then if you want to do it on your own, you can later on down the road. But basically, the month of January is going to be about cleansing, which is, negativity. Also food, the removing things that is causing your body discomfort and things like that. I literally had a friend say to me today, oh my gosh, I know you tell me all the time that dairy does this or that, but I really am starting to think that I can't eat dairy anymore, she said. So, just starting to really listen to your body, listen to your emotions. Your emotions are your North Star. They're your guiding light. They basically tell you what you need to know. Don't run from your emotions. Use your emotions to guide you to where you need to be. Now, don't let your emotions run you. Oh yeah, this is what my emotion is telling me to do, so I'm going to do it. No. Your emotions are for you to analyze and figure out why you are thinking these things. And then mindset training is putting in positive information into your brain, or recognizing when you're having negative thoughts and acknowledging it and letting it just letting it, be there, think it through, and then let it go. And that's the way that you get through both the light and the dark. And this was what I was trying to tell you guys earlier, and I got cut off, and we'll end it at that. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So that's what it is with shadow work and light work. When you are working on yourself to be the best version of you, you can't be perfect. Nobody is perfect. There is going to be things about you that people aren't going to like. There's going to be people out there that don't like you. There's going to be people out there that don't understand you. There's going to be people out there that judge you, that think what you're doing doesn't make any sense. They're going to tell you, get a real job. They're going to tell you your relationship sucks, or that they don't like your boyfriend, or who fucking cares what anyone says to you? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, they go home to their home, you go home to your home, and all of it is just chatter at the end of the day. So let's make our chatter worth a damn, okay? Let's try to elevate each other. Let's try to be there for each other. Right now, more than anything, we need to connect with one another, and the only way to do that right now is through basically phone, internet, computer, social, and so on. Of course, you can get together in public settings, like out in the parks and things like that. I love the farmers market for that reason, or the bike park. I haven't seen my little owlets in the longest time. I might actually go over there and see them. I wish my boyfriend would take a walk with me early in the dusk so that we could go and see the full moon right before it sets, because I think it's like 7:17 a.m. when the sun comes up. So you kind of have to think like around 5:45 ish. You get like a really good view of the moon, because it's like still really, really dark, but pretty full in the sky. But I miss my little owlets over at the bike park. I miss my bike. I haven't been riding my bike. I haven't been really exercising. I want to do some yoga after I finish with y'all. Just do a little nighttime, maybe 15-minute unwinder, because, I had to quit my massage MB this year. That was just something. I've been a member since 2003. It was like a really big ending, but it was the right one, because honestly, getting rubbed by random strangers during an epidemic just didn't sound like the right idea for me. So that's that. But I'm not afraid of getting sick. I'm just putting it out there, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you live above the wellness line, and what that means is that you keep your frequency high. You put good foods in, you sleep. Except for my sleep habits have been really crazy lately, but I don't know why that is. I think it's the moon. There's something going on in the moon. Like, I have a lot of... Okay. My North Node is in Gemini, and the North Node is in Gemini right now. And we also just had the full moon in Cancer. My rising is in Cancer in sidereal or Vedic astrology. We just had the solar eclipse in Sagittarius. My sun is in Sagittarius in tropical. We just moved into the age of Aquarius. My sun in sidereal and Vedic is Aquarius. I have a lot of planets, and a lot of... my Saturn maturation is this year. Google it. This is some really real shit. This isn't stuff that's like made up. This is like thousands of years. This goes back to like Indian traditions. That's why I like the Vedic sidereal stuff, because it's like these people have been studying this stuff. It was kind of like, oh, like caveman. Let's role play here. I'm a caveman. Oh, oh, bright. What? That? To Galileo's day, I think that's his name, the guy with the telescope, somehow created a telescope, and because he was that caveman that was, oh, hey, but couldn't figure out how do I see that thing closer. So Galileo then created a telescope, and now he could see the stars, right? And then that came astronomy. Well, not really yet. Then they sent a man to the moon. And in 19, what am I talking about? And in 2024, they're supposedly sending somebody else to the moon. They're sending a man and a woman to the moon in 2024. Pretty cool, right? And my birthday is actually 2/24. 2024. I really feel like 2024 might be a really good year. That is my prediction. Like, good year in what way? Like, I gotta be more specific. I feel like it's gonna be, well, first of all, it's an election year, so anything can happen. So it might be chaotic, but it might actually be like a good chaotic. Like, I kind of have a feeling like it might be a good chaotic. I don't know. I might just, after this, Google up the astrology for that day, because you can do that, you know. Did you know that? So if you're at all interested and you just want to kind of pop over there and take a look at your astrology or your birth chart, and you know your birth date, time, and where you were born, go to www.astro.com. I find that one to be the easiest. You can store up to 4 people's birthdays or events at a time, but then you could just edit it and change it. So it's simple. Cafe Astrology is another good one, and you could do that one with Sidereal Vedic. I like Cafe Astrology because they like write it all out for you. So if you're like a super new beginner and you have no resources whatsoever, no books, no nothing, Cafe Astrology will like kind of talk you through it. It's a lot of reading though. And then astro.com is just simply your chart. So if you don't really know like the planets and all that stuff, it's going to be a little bit harder, but you could always Google like, what does Cancer look like? Which is basically a 69 symbol, by the way. It's so funny because I'm a Pisces sun and tropical, and I used to always think the Cancer sign was mine. Like, I thought that was like fish. It looks like fish, doesn't it? But Pisces sign isn't at all like what I thought it was. I don't know how this video is going to come out. I mean, like I said, I just came up with this idea one day, this VLOGMAS NYE 2021. Why? Because I didn't do anything for Christmas. I mean, I did see my dad and mom the following day. My boyfriend and his father literally slept the entire day. I probably didn't leave my room. Like, I like to come into my little office and do my own thing. And I don't think I left this room for hours and hours and hours. And we ended up going out to eat Christmas. Yeah, we went out to eat on Christmas. I love going out to eat on Christmas. I remember when my grandparents were alive, my mom's side, we always went out to eat on Christmas. And we went to like a fancy ass steak restaurant. And it was so good. It was so much fun. So much fun. And my grandfather always used to eat like everybody's plate. Like, he would eat his, and then he would like eat everybody else's. He was just that kind of guy. He was the sweetest, sweetest, sweetest guy in the whole wide world. I really do hope he's watching over me. I've been hearing lately my guides telling me that there is a man and 2 women that are my guides. And I have an idea of who they might be, but there are just so many people. But I really, really do think that these 3 people, I think I know who they are. But I don't know, you know, you never know. You can't ever know. You just know that you do have guides out there that are watching out for you, that have your back, okay? And they want what's best for you, and they want you to learn your lessons from the past. They want you to remember the things that you mastered in a past life. They want you to discover your past life talents, things that you've subconsciously buried deep down inside. Kind of like, I think we were talking about that earlier with, hearing something and then subconsciously believing it for so long that you don't even really remember why you feel that type of way. And that's the thing, is that manifestation can work in two ways, and words are a spell. You speak words, you speak a spell. So if you are constantly manifesting negativity, you're casting a negative spell on your life. So, how do you heal from that? That's the real question, and that's what we're here to answer. So stick around. There's so much more to hear and so much more in store. Talk to you soon.